Good morning, my Real News Midday TV family. Thank you so much for tuning in this morning, and I'm wishing for everyone a wonderful and a productive day. And in the news this morning, outbreak of tuberculosis at Hunts Bay Police Lockup. There is an outbreak of tuberculosis at the Hunts Bay Police Station Lockup, which is on the same compound as the St. Andrew South Police Divisional Headquarters that polices some of the toughest crime-ridden communities in the capital. Several court cases were postponed after judges in the parish and the Supreme Court were informed that the prisoners who are housed at the Hunts Bay Police Lockup were not being moved due to the outbreak of tuberculosis there. The Jamaica Constabulary Force has issued a release saying it is working alongside the health authorities to manage an ongoing health situation within the St. Andrew South Division. We wish to reassure the public that all necessary measures are being implemented to contain the situation and ensure the safety of all involved. Since August of this year, we have been managing a confirmed outbreak of tuberculosis among inmates at the Hunts Bay Lockup, the release said. The statement added that upon detection, all established public health protocols were swiftly enacted. Infected inmates were immediately placed in isolation and medical professionals were engaged to lead the response. All JCF personnel who came into contact with the affected individuals were also isolated and provided with the required personal protective equipment. The JCF said the St. Andrew South Divisional Management Team has been collaborating closely with the public health officer and the staff from the Southeast Regional Health Authority, the National Chest Hospital, and the relevant authorities at the St. Andrew Parish Court to manage and mitigate the spread of TB. Currently, there are 7 inmates receiving treatment at the Hunts Bay Lockup, while an additional 5 are undergoing treatment at hospital under police guard. The divisional management team is said to be adhering strictly to the advice provided by medical professionals to ensure the well-being of all the detainees and the staff. As part of our precautionary measures, infected inmates are kept entirely separate from the general detainee population to prevent the further spread of the illness. There have been no transfers into or out of the Hunts Bay facility since the initial detection of TB cases, the release said. We have also been engaging with the St. Andrew Parish Court to facilitate court appearances for affected inmates through secure online platforms such as Zoom to further limit the risk of exposure, the release noted. The JCF said it remains committed to transparency, safety and the health of all those in their care and will continue to work diligently with its partners to navigate the situation responsibly. We urge the public to remain calm as we implement all necessary measures to protect both the detainee population and the wider community, the release concluded. DCS suspends visits to all correctional facilities amid H1N1 cases. The Department of Correctional Services has suspended all visits to adult and juvenile correctional institutions across the island for the next 2 weeks. The move is expected to end on December 2. The DCS, however, says the drop-off of food by family members scheduled for this Wednesday, November 20, will proceed as planned as per established guidelines. The suspension of visitation comes after the confirmation of the influenza A H1N1 virus at the St. Catherine Adult Correctional Center and the Tower Street Adult Correctional Center. The DCS says the move, which is a precautionary measure, is necessary to prevent the further spread of the virus and to safeguard the health and the safety of inmates and the staff within the facilities. The Correctional Services says it is closely monitoring the situation and is working with relevant ministries and agencies to manage and to contain the spread of the virus. The DCS adds that further updates regarding the resumption of visits and any additional measures will be communicated as necessary. Union leaders criticizes government's handling of hotel worker issues, calls for urgent action. A prominent union leader has criticized the government for its handling of hotel workers' concerns, particularly calling out the Minister of Tourism Edmund Bartlett and the strategist Delano Seavright for going into hotels to settle complaints, which he says is not their job. Speaking with the news, President of the Union of Clerical, Administrative and Supervisory Employees, Vincent Morrison, expressed disappointment over what he considers to be an ongoing practice of inappropriate intervention by government officials. I think it is a shame for my friend, the Honorable Minister, and his strategist, Mr. Delano Seavright, to be going into hotels to try and settle concerns and complaints of workers. That is not their role, he said. Noting that unions have tried for years to get into the tourism industry, Morrison said their efforts have been thwarted by higher authorities, particularly those in the Ministry of Labor and the Social Security. And I want to be very clear, I have a whole lot of respect for the technical people, the civil servants, who work in the conciliatory service of the Ministry of Labor and the Social Security. Whole lot of respect. You have some very genuine, conscientious, hard workers, smart workers too, who work there, but I'll tell you something, they have to take instructions because they have a job, he explained. According to the union leader, these ongoing issues within the hotel industry, including workers walking off the job, are damaging the sector and immediate action is needed. He is therefore calling on the government to take steps toward resolving these disputes by establishing a joint industrial council for the tourism industry no later than January 2025. I think the government should immediately consult with the hotel industry, the sector, the trade unions in setting up a joint industrial council for the sector. I think this is an emergency, and it should be done before, but not later than the end of January 2025, Morrison said. Discontent simmers in JLP over who should supplant Shaw. There is a rift within the ranks of the Jamaica Labour Party in Manchester North Eastern over who should be its candidate in the upcoming general election as Audley Shaw exits the political arena at the end of his current term. Shaw, who has been the parliamentary representative for the constituency since 1993, told the Labourites at a local conference at a Christian high school on Sunday that he will not be seeking re-election. In the same breath, he endorsed the councillor for the cricket division, Omar Miller, to succeed him as the JLP's candidate and the prospective member of parliament, indicating at the same time that he could not do otherwise. Shaw told the gathering, which ran simultaneously with a joint JLP constituency conference for Portland Eastern and Portland Western, that he thought long and hard about the decision. He said Miller, who has been a councillor for almost 14 years, took over from his father in the division. So him and him father have served the parish council for the cricket division for a total of 35 years. I ask you now, why wouldn't I support Omar to take over from me? Omar and his father combined in this council are longer than my 31 years as Member of Parliament, said Shaw to rousing applause from supporters. I can tell you, as a Member of Parliament, Omar has been totally supportive of me and learning at my feet. He has learned well, and something would be wrong with me if I don't support Omar as Member of Parliament. I hope that what I've said has been well received by you. God is good. He has made me serve the people of northeastern Manchester for over 31 years. Time come now for me to move it on to somebody else, and I'm moving it on to Omar Miller, said Shaw. But his endorsement of Miller was upstaged by political aspirant Hindran Mikulski, the principal of Homo Technical High School in Manchester. Mikulski was a candidate for the JLP in the February 2016 general election, contesting the Manchester Southern seat. In an unsigned statement released publicly on Sunday, which appeared to be on Mikulski's behalf, Labourites were told that the principal would be absent from the conference because he had not been officially informed of it. He was never invited to be a part of the planning meetings or to attend the conference. We believe that such a conference would have been the ideal opportunity to have the two aspirants be presented to the people of northeastern Manchester by the Member of Parliament, and they be given an opportunity to share their plans for the development of the constituency, the statement said. It said that the absence of this may be interpreted as the constituency-based planners following through on a deliberate plan to keep Mikulski away from the workers and the voters of the constituency. It said Mikulski had been working in the constituency, creating life-changing opportunities for the youths, the middle-aged and the elders of the constituency. We were made to understand that the MP may move to endorse one of the aspirants at the conference as his preferred choice for Member of Parliament. Team Mikulski is not deterred by such move, as the party's constitution does not automatically accept endorse the individuals as its constituency standard bearers and the candidates, it said. Yesterday, Mikulski said he could not immediately comment when contacted by the news because he was in a meeting. Meanwhile, Miller said he was advised by the JLP Secretariat that the process has to run its course and that he should avoid interviews. Michael Stern, the deputy leader of Area Council 3, which comprises Manchester, St. Anne and Clarendon, told the news yesterday that 2 applications have been submitted for the ticket so far, but no decision has been made. He said the constitution of the party will be followed in determining who succeeds Shaw. Endorsements will be happening once the people go out and show their faces to the people. We won't get involved in who endorses who. We cannot do that, and that is not how elections run, he said, stressing that there is a process for candidate selection. He said it is a model embraced by both the JLP and the opposition People's National Party. We do polling, we do other things, and then we check to see who is the best person, and then you submit it to the Operations Committee meeting, and the leader will review along with the General Secretary. So it's a process. 2 candidates are vying for the seat, and anybody can endorse who they want, said Stern. He said what is taking place is a jostle for support. There are concerns about whether the JLP will hold on to Manchester North Eastern, a seat last won by the PNP in 1989. Guys, thanks for watching. Please join us this afternoon at 2 p.m. for another news update.